Hi, I'm Cash and welcome back to Cash Talks Football. Today I'm breaking down the final of the FA Cup between Manchester United and Manchester City. If you've not seen my breakdowns of Pep Guardiola's coaching and how to beat that, I'll try to link that up so you can see that. But also I've done all the Man United goals they've scored this season so you can see their progression through the season. There's a long 2-hour video on that as well. Right now though, we're going to talk about this performance from United because it was not a great performance, but it's not a bad performance. So sometimes when the other team is much better than you, which is the case with Manchester City against Man United, you just have to sit in and make no mistakes and hope they make one and then cling on to whatever you can get hold of. And that's exactly what Manchester United do. It's funny how United seem to have all their players back from injury. It's like all the players want to play an FA Cup final, but they might not want to go away and play at Brentford. So there's a lot of lack of character with these Manchester United squad members. You really see it, especially when they're all back playing for this one game. But I do like this ball, this looped in pass that's played here. I'm a big fan of if they're defensively stepping up, put the ball in the space and ask them to go and defend it. And United do have pace up front, and they can ask those questions. So go and deal with this ball, Man City, and see what you've got. There's a couple of massive mistakes. Actually, on the second goal, Kyle Walker's completely at fault. It's shocking to see. And it's terrible that no one ever seems to call out Kyle Walker, because I was... in one of my other videos, I was referring him to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and if Trent did what Kyle Walker did, everyone would be yelling and screaming at the kiddie. But when Kyle Walker does it, everyone goes, oh, it's all right, it's Kyle Walker. I don't understand the disconnect there. And that's why I'm a fan of calling what you see. Don't care about the name of the shirt or or the club they play for. Just say it as you see it. So when they flick this little ball in behind here, let's just play it on a little bit. Bum, 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 bum. You can see there's lots of midfield has been bypassed. The ball's gone straight over, and it's really straightforward. But what ends up happening is the goalkeeper has made just a terrible decision here. So, as you can see, we're not even near the 18-yard box. The keeper can just be sitting on his 6-yard line, waiting to see what his defenders do, and then do something. Because as a keeper, if you get caught in no man's land, you can put yourself in all sorts of problems. And the other thing as a keeper is when defenders see you coming and you're not talking and communicating to them, they panic as well. They're like, what's my keeper doing up here? So... in this situation, there isn't any sort of communication between anybody. And when this ball bounces here, I don't know why the keeper's this far up. Because he can't obviously handle the ball. He needs to be way back here, dealing with anything that, it's clearly his defender's got there. But, of course, his defender hasn't looked at the keeper. The keeper's not calling to the defender and telling him what to do. So they make this absolute communication error right here between the two of them. And he almost just heads it in his own goal, really. Which is, at this level, is pretty shocking. But also, it comes down to the fact that we're putting a ball, United just knocks it up in the air. Okay, great. Let's just deal with that and see if City can deal with it. And they just couldn't. And that's why sometimes you're just better off just dumping the ball into the space and seeing what they can do. Does get shoved off the ball a little bit, does have to run in, does still have a little bit of work to do, but he does, gets it into the box, and that's all that counts. This is what the shot I wanted to show you here, where you can see the keeper's clearly not communicating. The defender's clearly not looking at the keeper because he's obviously trying to win the ball and he's focused on the United player he's trying to deal with. Just an utter communication breakdown, and it's exactly what United needed to give themselves something to fight for, something to work hard for. And to be fair, I think that one of the hardest working players in the game that no one really mentioned was Amrabat. He was absolutely quality. He was trying to do everything in the game. He was everywhere. But let's get on to the next goal. So the start of this goal, this is what I want you to spot, right? Look at Kyle Walker. There's his 1, 2, 3, and back 4. Now, of course, he always relies on his pace to get him out of trouble, so he doesn't really worry about getting back on time. And quite often, City retrieve the ball, so he doesn't waste the time doing that. Fine. This time, guess what, though? You're caught out. Ball breaks on the side here. To be fair, it was a quality pass out there by Rashford. But again, look at Kyle Walker being slow and lazy, getting back, not in his shape. And it's just almost like, well, we don't really have to. We're good enough. We're Man City. Wrong, mate, wrong. Now, at this point, it's all too late for Kyle Walker. Ratface here has been watching the whole time, and he's noticed that main news over here. Now, one bazooka, it's quite funny. He runs in, and look, no one in Man United is passing a one bazooka. I don't know if you actually watched Man United play. The guy's an awful footballer. If you give it to him, he's just going to pass it back to the other team. So genuinely, no one bothers. So when he makes this run here, no one really should be paying any attention because he's that guy on their team. Everyone's played football with a guy, you don't pass it to him because you're just going to lose it. And that's United's. So when Ratface picks this ball up right here in the middle, you can see Carl Walker trying to turn on the Jets. But this is what gets really bad for me here, is what Walker does next. When this ball goes in, he tries blaming John Stones, right? Well, it's your man, mate. He's covering the middle of the field. He's actually doing all right. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to. But you haven't run back. Soon as this ball goes into the net box, Carl Walker's reacting like, oh, what's gone wrong? It's not my fault. Yes, it is. Little tidy finish here by Kobe Mainoo. Slots it in. But look at him straight around looking at John Stones there. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is a better angle because you can see John Stones with his arms out. Like, what are you on about? He's your player. He's behind me. And it's completely and utterly down to Carl Walker not doing his job. And United get themselves their second goal. Those of you that are new to my channel won't have heard me say this. Those of you that have been around will understand. The minute someone is pointing at someone to do a job, in about 5 seconds, somebody scores a goal every single time. Stop trying to tell him where he's going and what he's doing. Focus on the ball. And because what's happened again, I've explained this like in a lot of videos. It's called like the 80-20 rule if you're coaching. 80% of your brain is focused on the ball. 20% of your brain is focused telling somebody else what to do. So your reaction time is just about 0.02 of a millisecond down. And that's all it needs to be when the other guy's faster than you. Yes, all these numbers matter. Yes, it all counts at high-level football. Well, actually, even counts at low-level football. It's just the reaction times are, much slower. It's almost like 1 second, but yeah. So when he bursts inside here, watch, Bush, and he's gone, he doesn't react quick enough because he's still busy trying to tell somebody else what to do, going down the side there. And is that the problem that the goal's scored here? Not really. Like, he should be better, and he shouldn't be telling somebody else to go cover the line and all that other nonsense. Just focus on trying to win the football, and he might have had a better chance. But to me, Anana, he should never be letting this ball go into his inside post from this range. It's just not good enough for a keeper supposedly of Premier League quality. The shot really isn't that powerful, and it's bouncing along the floor and it's nicked into the corner. Overall, Anana should have done much, much better there. But to be fair, United did exactly what they needed to do, not make mistakes. They sat back, compact. Yeah, they had no possession of the ball, but they're not going to against Man City. They're not good enough. But they got their goals when City made mistakes, and overall held on to it. Well done overall. See you next time on Cash Talks Football.